Years ago, when I was just a boy around the Vietnam era, I purchased a C5 Corvette and then senselessly cut it to pieces in efforts to create a vision I had in my brain that I saw on the Google. So I then purchased a Jeep Wrangler tub, cut it to pieces, and basically welded the two together. The results were about what I expected. However, what I should have done immediately following this is put my attention to the engine bay. Give the engine some more power, make it more fun to drive. But I was so consumed with how it looks that I spent 6 months sanding Bondo and I painted the car. Now, years later, learning from the mistakes of my youth, we are in the make it fast phase of the build. So we have a mildly built 4.8, big old turbo. Recently found out what it was like to be cool, purchased a TIG welder, and that opened up fabrication doors that I didn't know existed. So we are nearing completion, but as you all know, the last 10% of a build seems to take the longest.
Finally. This, my friends, is a check valve. So, this little piece of engineering magic has a little tiny ball bearing inside it. See the little ball? When it goes this way, it blocks the flow. So I don't have to change a whole lot, but unfortunately, I do have to cut that off because I'm a moron. I don't want the freaking Eiffel Tower right here, because then by the time this hose is on here, it's gonna be kind of obnoxious. Dumb, less dumb. What? Somehow, that first bung that I put on here, the threads got boogered. There was some chunks of aluminum like in between the threads and I didn't see it and it kind of started to chew this up. I couldn't fix it. Luckily, this came with this nut. Now it threads in, so it's a little less pretty, but nonetheless, we should be set. Just want to let you guys know, even when I'm trying to fix my mistakes, I still made a mistake. Check valve, check. Pigtail loop, check. This thing, check. We do have something on the front end that we need to handle. Now, my friends, we have a much more pressing issue we must address.
That was my David Attenborough impression, the dude that does all the nature commentary if Morgan Freeman doesn't do it.
As fall approaches, so does death. Come to die. Harry.
Okay, so what we gotta do, the best place for this is gonna be up front, right? And originally I was planning on doing it back there, but I'd like to try to make room up here. In case you're unfamiliar, like I was last week, I wanted to explain this to you. This is technically not a radiator, even though it functions like a radiator. It is called a heat exchanger. So the most commonly used intercoolers are air to air. That's where you have outside ambient air cooling the intercooler, which cools the air from the turbo inside the intercooler. These are big and bulky, and we have zero room, so we're using this spaceship-looking thing called a water-to-air intercooler, where water travels through the inside and cools the turbo air instead of air. So, water enters through one port, exits through another, and then you have the boost air or the turbo air traveling through the intercooler pipes like normal, but in between the water going in and out of the intercooler, you have the heat exchanger, which cools the water, so it can cool the air from the turbo. So this is why it's important that this is up front by the radiator so that it has the most airflow that it possibly can, so that it cools as good as it possibly can, but we literally don't even have room for that. The original Corvette frame, I mean, it came all the way out to probably about here, but I shortened it so that the hood would line up with the grill. I'm gonna see if we can kind of tweak this and kind of see where everything lines up so that we can put that and that up here. Tattoo face. I need your professional opinion.
Oh, you need my opinion.
Don't make it weird.
On the way. Tattoo face out.
This heat exchanger.
Okay.
I then proceeded to explain to Manny all the reasons why I wanted to put it in the front and everything that it would take to put it in the front instead of putting it in the back in the spot that I originally thought.
Would it be dumb to mount it to the hood?
Not to call your idea dumb, but dumb, because it'd be right where all the heat is rising to. So the other idea was putting it back here. I then showed Manny where I was going to put it behind the fuel cell above the Jeep's bed, and that's when he came up with this brilliant idea. That's probably what I never even thought about that. So I did what I do best, and I just found a bunch of metal over there in that pile and made these things. They're not very pretty, but this is all going to be covered. Basically try and duplicate this and just send this up and over and have a little channel for the lines to go down through, and then they're going to pop underneath the car, basically on the same gap that is on this side, go up and under, and then up and over. So what I'm thinking, we got some factory little nut things we can use here and there. And then I'm thinking about making a real shallow little wind dam just to shoot air up into here.
Oh yeah, I could hang for this mother.
Not too shabby. And got a little bit of, it's supposed to be about an inch plus or minus. And then we have this disgusting mount here. This thing ain't going nowhere. It's not even tight. Freaking a stout little piece of aerodynamic brilliance. There's nothing aerodynamic about it. Truck smells so good! Did a quick little rearranging of the shop. We got kind of some of the more. This thing produces so much dust. I wanted it as far away from over there as possible. And we have all this walking space now that we didn't have previously. Didn't throw anything away, just moved stuff around in a better, in a more organized fashion. So now that that's all done, we'll get back to what we're doing on this. Over the last 8-9 years or so of hydro dipping, I've developed friendships with shops far and wide. And one of them is Cat Performance, and they happen to be right down the street from me. They do a lot of newer like Hellcat stuff, new Mustangs, new Vets. And so they have developed a pretty large collection of factory parts that they've taken off while upgrading. And so before your eyes, I present to you factory Hellcat heat exchanger hardlines, which should be pretty close to what I need to just plumb this over to there. We're gonna have to trim it down, shorten it up, cut some of these bends out and make it all straight. But nonetheless, this is exactly what I had in my head, and he just happened to have two of them exactly the same, which is exactly what I needed. So got that wrapped up. I'll explain in a minute. Cutting some stuff here for some things. Grab one of these coffees because I got a freaking kid now and I don't sleep much. And then I noticed something back here that doesn't belong. Okay, that is all. Okay, quick up to speed. So it turns out the Hellcat stuff, wherever it went, it basically just didn't look good. There were too many curves and bends and I screwed up and blah, blah. So I went and bought this right here. A little bit thicker wall than I wanted, but that's all they had. And so I bought that, used that Harbor Freight bender thing that I used for the front of the bug tubes there. Would not recommend that for roll cage tubing, but for this and aesthetic bends, it's fine. So bent this up, a couple cuts, got it going all down there like such. So now we're gonna make just a little cover basically so that you don't see all that ugly underneath. We're gonna make a little access panel right here so that we can top it off. Water in here is not supposed to get more, I think it said like 15 degrees above ambient temperature. So we should never see temps in here above like 130, like ever. And so I don't think an overflow is necessary, but you know, it's there, and I can weld aluminum now and we got some of this, so might as well make a little tiny overflow, something like that. However, of the scrap aluminum that I have, we are now out of pieces that I need. So we're gonna run over to Manny's and get that. And while we're over there, grabbing that, he's got some stuff that he's been working on that's pretty sweet, and we're gonna show it to you guys.
Sure there's a right way and a wrong way to do this.
Probably the best way to find out. Layer down. Yeah. Do we need it up on that arch?
Yeah.
You have one of those cool little fiberglass rollers?
I've never really got one of those. I tried a variation of like a roller, but I didn't like it because once it started to harden up, like around the roller, it would pull when I was trying to turn it. I didn't like it.
Well, now that we know how you mix your fiberglass, yeah, I could see that being an issue.
Well, I mean, it's the same way I weld. I just go in hot and heavy, but sprinkling that shit up.
Honey drizzle.
Honey drizzle. It's about honey drizzle.
You're still gonna do backrest, yeah?
Yep.
Cool.
Still got to do that to match, but
Got it.
the bulk of the work is done.
Yeah. Turned out really good.
Thank you.
Shush.
I kept saying it looks like one of those sushi boats. You go tight. You go potty. Or you just want to be out there.
You never ask me if I have to go potty.
Well.
All right, so this took way too long to make what is basically a box, but it's done and I'm happy with it. So now, because I want to make it blend, what do we got? What do we got? 50 and a half. I want to powder coat it wrinkle black or do something bed liner-esque so that it kind of blends, but I'm pretty sure this thing
caps out about 4 foot on the Dizzoff. So I can fit it diagonally. The problem with that is once it's got the powder on it, it's putting it in here diagonally is gonna be the weird part. So made a, again, not pretty, but I didn't want these vibrating, and now they don't. Little mount there, those are welded together, and then all that is hard pipe. So those pop out down there, so then we'll just connect some soft lines, go up to there. Let me kind of see if I can show you what I'm talking about with this. So that's how it's got to fit, and that corner is going to touch. So putting it in there like that while there is fresh loose powder on it is going to suck the yin yang, but I don't want it to be obnoxiously bright silver because it's tall, and the whole point of it was to hide that. Wanted to show you guys how nice this is. Adrian had this, he's one of our shop neighbors. Before I knew this was a thing, these little riv nuts that you saw me use everywhere, I literally welded bolts to the bottom of whatever I needed, and that both is disgusting looking and a giant pain in the butt compared to just pumping that thing and voila. So Manny's first impression of this in final form was that it looks like a guitar case. So it's now called the guitar case. So we got to cut out a hole for this, make that fit nicely so that it drops down. We're going to powder coat all of that the same wrinkle black, make it look a little more sinister and a little less chrome. I'm going to do some hard lines off this going down, and then we'll just run the soft line from there to there. Got to do a gas pedal. And we're going to make a new mount for the radiator because this thing weighs 15 pounds and it's pretty unnecessary. Once all that is done, Dennis can wire it, and then we're done. Then we're done. We're done. Hearing myself say that this is going to be done soon is really weird, but it's actually going to happen, which is really cool. It's been about 2 months since we put a video up. If you didn't know, I told you guys all last video, I think, but I'm a dad now, so that explains why this video took as long as it did, because I had to learn what diapers are and all the jazz that comes with a new baby. So baby's healthy, wife is healthy, everything is good. Moving forward, I don't know how on earth we convinced this guy to let us do what we're about to do, but we have something new we're going to be starting. It's in the shop. We'll explain that next video, but definitely be on the lookout for future videos. Very excited to show you guys what we have in the store moving forward. Let me know what you think. We did a bunch of weird stuff, and I don't really know. I mean, there's probably another place I could have put that, but that's where it's, but tell me where you would have put it so that next time we do something stupid like this, I have more options. So we'll keep plugging away on this. I got some more work I got to do so we can pay the bills. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being patient. Let me know what you think. We'll see you later.